Hello and welcome to Business News. Total crude production by the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries was down by 310,000 barrels a day as at December 2016, following severe impact of disruptions in Nigeria, the cartel's sixth largest oil exporter. The decline comes as OPEC, which controls around 40% of global oil supply, struggles to curb output in a bid to boost oil prices. Nigeria's daily output dropped by 200,000 barrels to 1.45 million in December, ending 3 months of gains as the country struggles to restore capacity after a year of militant attacks on oil infrastructure as well as field maintenance. Overall, OPEC members, excluding Indonesia, which suspended its membership in November, pumped 33.1 million barrels a day last month. And the Nigerian equities market is negative for the third consecutive session as investors continue to take profit on the gains recorded last month. BC Adebayo has more.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Markets Report. The Nigerian equities markets fell deeper in the red at the close of Thursday's trading session as profit-taking enters a third day in the first trading week of 2017. The all-share index lost a significant 1.07% to close at 26,212.09, while the market capitalization fell by more than 100 billion naira to 9.01 trillion naira. Price losses from 16 losers, comprising mostly industrial blue-chip stocks, including Dangote Cement, contributed to the day's downward performance, in contrast to weak gains recorded by 17 stocks on the price chart. The top three lead decliners were Nigerian Aviation Handling Company, Guinness, and Dangote Sugar, while UAC Property, Owando, and Access Bank were the top gainers for the session. In contrast to Wednesday's session, total volume turnover came in lower at 137.69 million shares, valued at 898.7 million naira in 2,488 transactions. Fidelity, Diamond Bank, and United Capital emerged as the three top patronized stocks for the day. And that ends the stock market reports. I am BC Adebayo.
Now, with the new year unfolding at a time of economic downturn, small and medium enterprises may have to be prudent and efficient with their plans' execution. This advice was offered on Channels Television today by a managing partner of CIUCI Consulting, Mr. Chukuma Monye. He says the right strategies are essential in order to beat the trust deficit in the business environment.
You need to be realistic about your own capacities. I think that's the first thing I will say. The second thing I will say is that partnership is key. Yeah, gone are the days where you just feel, oh, I'll do it all myself. You need to work with people that have complementary assets, complementary skills. I call them complementors. You need to work with complementors. The third thing is, especially for those that are, talking about agribusiness. I'm trying to, please put out a caution there, because everybody's saying agribusiness, just go into agri. Everybody wants to become a farmer. But have you asked yourself one question? Are you good at farming? The fact that, somebody else, Mr. A, is making money at it, does not mean that you will make money at it. Second thing is, agribusiness is a business. So even if you find and you want to invest in a farmer, he can farm, yes. But does he know how to make that activity a business? So I'm telling people that be very careful, especially if you have limited resources.
UK's FTSE 100 index hit a new intraday record high on Thursday, along with mild increase from European markets, while US and Asian stocks closed mixed performance. Let's take a look at the figures. And that's Business News Tonight. I'm Emana Amawe. Thank you for staying with us. The news at 10 continues shortly.
Welcome to Sports News. The prestigious CAF Awards is right now ongoing in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. But the winner of the African Footballer of the Year award has not yet been announced. Meanwhile, Super Falcons were announced as the Women National Team of the Year after winning the 2016 Women Nations Cup in Cameroon. Super Eagles pair of Kelechi Iheanacho and Alex Iwobi won the Most Promising Talents and Youth Player of the Year. Arsenal ladies and Super Falcons forward Asisat Oshoala also won the Women's Player of the Year award. Nigeria's table tennis star Haruna Quadri begins 2017 as Africa's #1 player. In the latest ranking released by the International Table Tennis Federation ITTF, Quadri is rated world number 25 ahead of Egyptian rival Omar Assar, who is number 45 in the world. Nigerian legend Segun Toriola is ranked number 103. After enjoying a festive break, the world's best players will return to action at the 2017 ITTF World Tour tagged Hungarian Open on January the 19th in Budapest. And the former Olympiacos manager Marco Silva has been confirmed as Hull City's new boss. The 39-year-old Portuguese has signed until the end of the season at the club. He replaces Mike Phelan, who was sacked on Tuesday with the Tigers at the bottom of the Premier League table. He will take charge of Hull City's next game against fellow Premier League strugglers Swansea in the FA Cup third round at their home on Saturday. Meanwhile, we're moving to tennis now. Jack Sock has completed a perfect sweep of his round-robin single matches at Hopman Cup with a 6-2, 6-2 win over Nick Krieger. With USA having already earned its place in Saturday's final, it was the relaxed Sock who took to the court against Krieger, the 24-year-old showcasing some of his flashiest stroke-making as he completed the win in just 49 minutes. Daria Gavrilova leveled the tie with a 6-4, 4-6 and 7-5 win over Coco Vandeweghe and took the series to a mixed doubles rubber. USA claimed the tie 2-1 after a 4-1, 4-1 win over Gavrilova and Mark Ebden, who replaced injured Krieger in the final match.
Game 7 match, Australia.
Elsewhere, two-time Olympic decathlon champion Austin Eaton has announced his retirement, saying he had given everything he could to the sport. The 28-year-old American, who holds the world record in both the decathlon and indoor heptathlon events, won gold in the multi-event discipline at the 2012 London Olympics and successfully defended his crown at the Rio Games last August. Canadian Olympic heptathlete Brian Tayson, who is Eaton's wife, also announced her retirement. Eaton walked hand in hand into retirement with his wife, who also reached the medals podium in Rio, taking bronze in the heptathlon. And that's all on Sports News. The news continues in just a moment. Stay with us.
Diplomatic relations between Chad and Libya right now hang in the balance as authorities in the North Central African country announced closure of their border with Libya in an effort to prevent a terrorist infiltration. The announcement was made by the country's Prime Minister Albert Pahimi Panakit in a national radio and television broadcast. He said armed groups that have lost ground fighting in Libya might be tempted to fall back into vast, sparsely populated territories, putting safety and security of population at risk. Border areas have also been declared military zones. Meanwhile, the UN says it is pleased that all sides in the political crisis in the Democratic Republic of Congo have finally agreed a deal that could ensure the first peaceful transfer of power since 1960. Negotiators led by Congo's Catholic Bishops' Conference spent weeks in tense talks before an agreement was reached. Congolese President Joseph Kabila will step down after elections to be held at the end of this year in a last-minute deal struck by political parties on December 31st. Under the deal, Kabila will be unable to change the constitution to allow him to stay in power for a third term. Kabila's mandate ran out on December 19th, but authorities have effectively extended it until 2018 because the government said it could not arrange elections before then. The parties agreed that Kabila will appoint a prime minister from the country's main opposition bloc to oversee the transition, a major sticking point in the final stages of the talks. A car bomb in the Turkish city of Izmir has left 2 attackers, a policeman and a court worker, dead. State media reports Kurdish militants are behind the attack, which was followed by gunfire. A third attacker is still being sought by the police. The attackers reportedly drove a car to the courthouse entrance, sparking an exchange with police and then detonating the car bomb. Some of the country's big cities have been targeted recently, both by so-called Islamic State and by Kurdish militants. President Recep Erdogan said recently that Turkey was under mutual attack by terrorist groups and they wanted to see the country brought to its knees. And the main news again. The president today ordered strong action by Nigeria's military to end the killings in southern Kaduna. President Muhammadu Buhari gave a clear directive to security operatives to deal decisively with elements considered to be a threat to national security. Also today, another Chibok girl was rescued by troops of Operation Lafia Dole in Borno State. The Army spokesperson, Brigadier General Sani Usman, said troops found Rekia Abubakar with a 6-month-old baby during an investigation of arrested Boko Haram suspects. And Chad today closed its border with Libya over what it termed a terrorism threat and also declared the country's border areas as military zones. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani. Good night.